Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another highlights video for Saturday Smackdown, the 1st of November. Here we have game number 6 in the series, which was played. Certainly, there have been more intense matches. Yeah, certainly we've seen more intense matches played, such as, for example, that 40-minute French Mirror I uploaded the other day. To be fair, though, that particular game is going to be pretty hard to top. But, either way, this game I really enjoyed, and I found it really entertaining, so I've decided to make it into a separate video. I personally thought it was worthy. It's certainly very entertaining. So if you would like to watch this, go ahead. If you'd like to watch the entire series, then you will find a link to the main event VOD in the description. But apart from that, enjoy the video. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Saturday Smackdown, this time for the 1st of November. Thank you, Zutzer. 1st of November, 2014. This is game number 6, I believe, in the best of 7 series being played between Aizamk, here he is in the south of the map, in the colour red, playing as the British. They're starting with 3 wood crates. Absolutely perfect. They're going to get lots of manners up. That is really nice for him. And indeed, a market. Perhaps we have had discussions on which of the two is better. But in the north of the map, in the colour teal, playing as the Indians here, we do indeed have Mitoe. Also spawning with lots of wood, because of course if one player starts with extra wood, we've covered this before. There is a crate rotation, and it is fair if one player starts with coin, the other will start with coin, in relation to what they would normally begin the game with anyway. But wood especially good for, well, both of these civs, but India in particular as well, because their villagers costing wood means you have to gather less wood, which is a slow gathering resource. Yes, you have the upgrade from the market for free, but still slower than food, and ultimately you don't really want to be gathering it unless you have to. 2 cows already. Wow, okay. This is a cow fest, this match. What do you think of this matchup though? We've seen it before in Aizamk versus Bo7. On this particular map, I think.
Yeah, I actually think this matchup isn't too bad. I think Brits, their biggest dependency is having enough hunt to be able to get out the units to not die, which Painted Desert certainly allows. And I think India is, just a good, strong civ just kind of in general. So I think this maybe hinges on how many cows the India player can get. If he can get 8 cows, certainly really, really strong for him.
We do have a little bit of conflict though over a 75 food treasure. That Coyote is almost dead. Going for the crack shot, takes it out, both going in. I'm not even sure who's going to get that there. Food goes to Mitoe, sniping the treasure at that last moment. The extra food going to be really nice, especially having all these cows. So much XP is going to be generated here. And plus, Aizamk's Explorer, very low on hit points. Not going to be able to collect, perhaps going to deny his ability to collect treasures. Fortunately, though, on this map, there aren't actually that many good treasures. So he's not losing out so much there. But a nice pickup from Mitoe.
One thing I do want to mention here is kind of blindly went with a very greedy build. He is making these 3 manor houses.
Ooh, wow. Yeah.
Did gather quite a bit of extra wood to be able to make this 3rd manor house. It was a 300 wood start, which means if India would have 10-10'd, which I think oftentimes they will, just because this is a livestock map, and if you can get livestock, 10-10ing is considerably better just because you don't miss out on your shipments as much when you get up really early.
Yeah.
Had he 10-10'd and played really aggressively, and A's, with this kind of slower 3-manor start, maybe would have been susceptible to a lot of pressure. That being said, fortunately for him, Mitoe is not playing with a really aggressive 10-10 build, and so he's not going to probably be punished quite as hard.
Wow, now that you mention it, that is crazy. I mean, starting with 3 manors, he's just going YOLO swag. I don't, yeah.
Yeah, and also, against India, and he knows India has the wood to actually make a 10-10, so yeah. It's a really, corner-cutting, greedy build. Perhaps
he knows Mitoe's playstyle, though. Perhaps he knew, or indeed had some inclination as to what Mitoe would do, and therefore he perhaps thought that he'd get away with the 3rd manor securely there. But, picking up every single cow. By definition, Cow Hacks tells us that whoever controls 100% of the cows will win the game. But, sometimes if it's on Great Plains, it's certainly a lot easier because 100% of all the cows is just 1 cow most of the time. But here, I'm not sure if having more cows actually helps, but certainly has all of the cows. And even if we're not going to talk about cow hacks here, I mean, cows actually really good for India. That's so much XP, and the 2 explorers that they start the game with really coming into play.
He actually lost one of his explorers, picking up 2 more cows over here as well.
Can I want to see cow hacks in the chat. That's it's impressive. That
yeah, he's got 10 cows now. This is gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough.
It is.
I don't know. Like, this is gonna be awkward. Ace is also like building forwards as well. Like,
could you like go pure Gurkha and then use the cows to like block any cav trying to get in and just move the cows around with you?
Well, I guess you could in theory if like you'd have to. The cows kind of move in like a really awkward way though, so you have to like have to do it like really, really, really well.
They don't have any
formation. What are
formation.
these bills doing? Do you see these 2 bills up here? Like just.
They're just casually chilling out on the side there. Maybe he's going to pop down a Rex. That seems like a very strange place to put one.
It's super strange. Like, I don't know.
We will have to keep an eye on those. That is weird. I want to know what. I want to ask him after. What are they doing? But Mitoe is now up with an Agra 4. An outpost wagon taking damage from the Agra 4.
Yes.
Now going to lay that down there. Where was that going? I don't know. That was quite far away from home. Perhaps he wanted to put it near the hunt and.
Yeah. I'm still really curious about these 2 bills on the top of the map. Is he going to like proxy a Rex and like make just like 20 pikes back there and like defend with longbows at home? That's what I hope we see.
He does have a Rex in his base already up, so certainly. What is he training right now? Let's go on to the.
What is this villager doing too? Is he going to go in and try and kill the cows? That would be hilarious if he did.
That would be. That would be. I built a livestock pen once. Alright guys, I built a livestock pen once, I know. And Aizamk's response to my livestock pen was to kill all of the animals on it with his villagers. That's a thing that he could. That would be really funny. But yes, five Gurkha. No, sorry, no, they're not. They're Sepoy. 5 Sepoy now out, going to start taking down this market. That's going to buy him some time there. Of course, it's just giving him line of sight that really he doesn't want. He doesn't want Aizamk to have. So you're going to take that out. And obviously it's got so many hit points for a 100 wood building. This is extra time that British really needs.
I wonder, these monks surely have scouted this house up and he's just going to be like wondering, what the hell is going on? There's another house going down over here. Like, this is going to give him a lot of map vision. He's going to be able to see, like, basically everything that's going on. But, I don't know. It's a very
It is interesting.
Style.
They're very vulnerable, these villagers. They're quite easily killed. Now actually taking damage from the elephants. Of course, it'll take a very long time to kill them, but certainly can send some units over there when he has them. Taking out a couple of musketeers there. I think it was a fairly even trade, though he, doesn't... Well, anyway, some longbowmen being added in, which is pretty nice, and I don't think Mitoe can ultimately continue to take down that market. But, yeah, they're vulnerable, and ultimately walking them over there, or at least the initial villagers that didn't build the houses, is a sort of a waste of resources. I really am curious to see why he's decided to do that, as we see. But,
yeah, I mean, plus he's like spreading himself so thin against Sepoys and the potential sours that move so fast around the map and stuff like that.
That's true.
It just seems like. In general, like, there's just so much hunt, like, right here. Like, why not just gather this hunt, play nice and defensively, get out of, like, big, unkillable, massive longbows and muskets, and then push out? Well, you still have, the time to do so, but spreading himself out thin,
to play this weird, interesting style. We will see what he indeed does. Actually, some musketeers here on the side. 5 musketeers, really vulnerable. They could so easily get caught there, but he knew where Mitoe's army was, so ultimately not a huge threat, and actually used the musketeers to kill a villager. I'm not even sure if there was a villager kill, but certainly could have been. The musketeers being really cheeky, going back in again.
To his credit, he is buying himself a little bit of time here. Yeah. And it's hard to kind of get a scope of how many manners he does have just because he's so spread out. But if you look at like all of the villas he's got, he's up to 35 villas. He's got a lot of manners, it seems, spread out across the map. So I do think he's got a decently sized boom going on here, but it's just hard to tell because everything's so spread out.
He does. Those 5 musks doing work back in his base, forcing his villagers off and even getting a kill. But here, in his own base, going to have to defend here. And I think he's, definitely going to be able to do that. He certainly has the units.
He's got a lot of longbows out. They're pretty good. Fine.
That's right. Those musks, though. 5 musks in the back. Like, ultimately,
they're being very, very annoying. Mitoe, with some uncharacteristically poor herding on the right side of his base there, and those 5 musks really paying dividends.
Mitoe usually very good at that, yeah. Another encounter, though, we see it more out in the open here, not going to have to fight in his base. He cannot call his Minutemen now if he needs them. And actually, I think, the extra units being added in there out of the aggro fort that have just trained are giving him the edge that he needs in this fight. Fortunately, 5 longbowmen popping out of the barracks, that is what he needs. He needs to get into a nice position here around these houses in the trees where actually, well, actually maybe not there, but you know what I mean. The positioning make those longbowmen hard to get at. Especially if he had cavalry, which he doesn't. Whoa, 2 more villages up here. Or more that perhaps going to go down to these musks.
Yeah, and also, I mean, with A's having everything so spread out, it makes India kind of have to choose where he wants to fight. It's kind of an awkward, position for India because he wants to just be able to focus in on everything, but...
And speaking of focusing, he's focusing down that barracks there, but taking shots from the longbowmen at the same time and ultimately losing a lot of units because of that. Not really, all that damage on the barracks is now essentially meaningless, and he's lost.
His loss have been just absolute man mode. These 3
just like a boss.
Yeah. Oh, here come the Sours, though. This could be...
Yeah. Oh, no. Sours, the cavalry he needed there, does he have enough musks to protect this? Those longbowmen certainly in a nice spot there. It's going to be...
so grouped up in there. Picks off one of the Sours even.
One Sour at range. It's going to be difficult to get a surround on the longbowmen when they're clumped up in these houses and trees, but not really that many.
She's like, where did all my hunt go? What I'd like to see is I'd just like to see Ace kill the. I mean, he's got 3 villas up here. Just kill all those deer together. Just make it so that
they decay away.
Yeah, and
deny him the hunt.
Yeah, it's an interesting style.
It's like at one point it was questionable as to whether those musketeers really should be there. I mean, he sort of needed them in his base to defend, but I think they've done so much work. And at this point, having killed lots of villagers and just being a British player, with lots of manor houses and villager shipments, he's now at a really, significant villager lead here. 44 villagers compared to Mitoe's 32, and they are on even military pop. Actually, Mitoe now just slightly ahead due to his shipment.
Yeah, I don't know. This is looking better and better for the Brit player. I mean, India probably has to win a fight convincingly here in the next minute or 2, and if he fails to do so, Brits his spread out economy here is just getting kind of out of control. He's really starting to pull a nice advantage.
Yeah. Is he setting up for something? Those units just going around the back. Is he going to trap him? Is that so, or is he just heading towards Aizamk perhaps to do some damage or something or other? I don't know. I'm a little bit concerned about Aizamk's army there.
Yeah, they are pretty spread out. The good thing is he's got vision all over the map. He's going to see the exact movements of where Mitoe's army is. And
taking out that villager there. That's the disadvantage of having them so far out.
Yeah, this could start to be kind of the awkward situation where, he does have all these manors out here, he does have good vision, but he's also got some very exposed villagers in some very awkward places at this point in the game.
This is like a game of chess. He sees where Mitoe's army is and he moves away, getting caught, the pathing around that. Oh, wow. Going to take a couple of shots here. If he has to and take that fight, then he actually does lose. He loses his army there, I think. Gurkha's definitely very good against musketeers, which isn't what his army is entirely composed of. And, just going to have to walk away. He doesn't want to take that.
That was really good for Mitoe. Mitoe maybe going to lose some more villagers up here, though. Nope. Was able to move.
Get them back.
Mitoe's kind of running into a situation where he's got, doesn't have a lot of resources left. They're all spread out. And kind of is in an awkward spot.
There is, he does have that presence up here. But at the same time... his villagers can't collect. There's 10 musks in his base, just not letting him gather resources. So we're not going to see Mitoe's army being replaced as quickly as it could be. And that's really, really awkward for him.
Yeah, and big batch of cav just came out here for Ace as well. I think he did those in a good spot. I think...
got 10 cav in total. Wow,
yeah,
okay.
I think Ace is just really spreading the map out and just...
He's focusing down the sepoy because he knows those are the only things stopping his cavalry from absolutely destroying all of these Gurkha. That is really nice. He's killed what he needs to do, has got the units out now, can absolutely annihilate all of these Gurkha that are really out of position, perhaps even leading him in to this position.
Might be
so he can get that
surround. It's collapsing from the right-hand side.
Yeah, he's not even got anywhere to go. Not that he could get away from cavalry anyway, but that is... Ouch! Like, was that like some next level, I'm gonna lure you all the way out of position over here and then get my 10 cav in?
Yeah, that was some really smart play. It was really well played. And now, I mean, we can see the score. Like, it's brutally one-sided. Plus, there's the fact that Ace has resources to gather from, and Mitoe really doesn't. Like, I don't know. This game is, I think, fairly one-sidedly over at this point. Ace just has so many units still available. I mean, it's 48 military pop with, fairly good upgrades. He has both Team Musket, Dren HP, and Cav HP sent. So, I mean, he's got really buff units as well.
Oh, no. Killing more villagers. Really nice. That gold mine is just awkwardly far away. And, calling the anti-cavalry Minutemen to force these off, but not before he gets a ton of settler kills.
Yeah, and I mean, the remaining Gurkha and Sepoy just not going to be able to stand up to the buff units that...
No, I think we'll see the resign in 3, 2, 1. No, actually, to be fair, he has pushed him back.
To be fair, he is, he's like...
Yeah, what am I talking about? Okay.
Started to regain some people, but at the same time, like, he's out of resources together. That was kind of like his one save. I mean, he got out a batch of Zams, which were able to deal with the Cav. He got out his Minutemen. He did do a good job of, like, regaining, control of his base, but now he's at the position where the Brit player has an infinite number of food to gather here in the middle of the map, still has good structure, has good upgrades, and just, has this
20 more villages and a much bigger army with regards to population. So if he's going to get back into this, he has to do something. Like, Aizamk has to, like
beat his army.
These units need to die, so at first he doesn't get, so Mitoe can continue to collect resources. And he also needs to catch up in, 20 villages. Aizamk needs to slip up and put, 20 vills on hunt, which get wrecked by something. Gonna bringing the cows forward. Gonna use them to block the cavalry from getting up and close to his Gurkha. What a play. That's just using them as a shield.
Yeah, just using them as a meat shield. I mean, I guess it works.
Literally a meat shield composed of beef,
Yeah, but at the end of the day, the cav
and repelling it, dude.
Yeah, but he's just killing so many vills up on the top at the same time.
Yeah, that's true. Holding it like a boss, though, but unfortunately, he's working very uphill at this point.
The moving cow wall.
The moving cow wall. It is a thing. Hashtag cow hacks, ladies and gentlemen. If I ever get a subscribe feature on my Twitch channel, that's going to be an emote that we get.
Yeah. Just like a picture of the cow.
A picture of the cow. I definitely think I could. I'd have to speak to Twitch, though, about it. But they usually give out, they say you have to have, a certain amount of concurrent viewers regularly. But people that don't get that sometimes get, the ability to... We'll see. It's definitely possible. But certainly, a lot of longbowmen here. This is tough.
Big raid here in the back. I mean, there's so many bills up here if they get spotted out, I think they're going to. Plus, there's so many longbows, like you mentioned,
Aizamk already has 100% more villages. This is even...
Yeah, at this point, it's all over but the crying at this point.
That's brutal. But a good game. He certainly, Aizamk's playstyle truly...
really, really smartly, honestly.
Those Gurkha weren't... If he wasn't able to get rid of them, this game would go on.
Yeah, he played it really, really smartly. He... just really good foresight as to where the army movements were going to be. Good control of vision with the manor houses all across the map, allowing him to know exactly where the units were coming from and what kind of units they were, giving him the time to build the appropriate response. Yeah. And I mean, just really playing it smartly all the way through. Just like a really well-controlled, well-played game by the British player.
Yeah. Oh my god, even more villages going down, dude. Oh, wow. GG. That concludes game number 6. What's the score? 3-3?
No, 4-2. That's it.
4-2. Aizamk takes the series, ladies and gentlemen. Winning, indeed. This is their 3rd best of 7 that they have played together over the weeks that we have been doing this, and now on 2 wins in a best of 7 compared to Mitoe's 1. This game was really nice. I really think Aizamk is a good player. It's not just his ridiculous builds. You have to make that work to begin with, and I think having years of practice playing OBS games in a non-standard way against people who do play standard certainly helps you tone an ability to he knows how standard players
Standard
what they
players
do.
play standard. He knows how standard play works,
And he knows how they
chooses,
react.
and he chooses to play around it, which
Yeah.
is I guess it works to his advantage. I mean, this game he spread himself out, which I thought was going to be a risky thing at first, but it ended up being, he spread himself out so much that the India player with his limited resources was never able to really hone in on one spot that was, a glaring weakness, and just kind of bought himself enough time that eventually he just kind of won.
Truly came to fruition, and he just well, not steamroll, but it was clever, like especially with the cavalry. But yeah, Aizamk, very good player, especially with he's British as well. This was pretty convincing. Smart guy. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching Saturday Smackdown.